The movie begins with a man named Rohan who is blind, but even without sight, he sees the world in ways many people never will. His life isn't filled with darkness, it's filled with confidence, independence, and quiet strength. He lives alone, handles everything himself, and keeps an optimistic, gentle spirit. He cooks, uses his phone with ease, knows the value of money by touch, works a steady job and speaks great English.
Mama. No.
Most importantly, he never stops believing that life can still be beautiful. When one door closes, another one opens, and Rohan proves that every day. He's extremely sensitive to sound and can fix things just by listening. He even helps the neighbor kid repair his bike and tells him, "Even if I can't see the road ahead, I'll still light up the world with my heart." One day, Rohan gets set up on a blind date with a girl named Supriya, who is also blind. Nervous but excited, he meets her and is immediately struck by her confidence. She lives independently, refuses to rely on anyone, and never thinks of herself as weak. She tells him she feels the world through her heart just like anyone else. Rohan is deeply moved. Even though he can't see her face, he feels their souls match. And just like that, he falls for her. After that, Rohan starts showing up where Supriya practices piano, surprising her with visits and even asking her to dance. She's the one who opens his heart, and Rohan finally finds the courage to pursue his own happiness. Supriya, touched by his sincerity, accepts him and the two become inseparable. They hold each other close and live like any other couple in love. One day at a crowded mall, the two get separated. Panicked, Supriya calls for help while Rohan desperately shouts her name. Among the chaos, he follows the sound toward a stage, grabs a microphone and calls out to her loudly. Supriya hears his voice, shouts back with the help of strangers, and they run toward each other like lovers reunited after a long separation. Soon after, Rohan proposes. He tells her, "You taught me to chase happiness. I've never felt darkness, not until the moment I got separated from you. That was the first time I felt truly alone." Supriya is moved to tears, and they joyfully plan their future together. Soon Rohan and Supriya got married. They pick out a new home and prepare for the life they want to build. Their wedding is full of hope. Rohan promises her, "Don't be scared. My purpose now is to become stronger." But life rarely stays perfect. Rohan is a talented voice actor, one of the best, known for his incredible vocal ability. One night, as he and Supriya walk home, they run into Amit, a spoiled rich kid who hides behind his father's power. Amit harasses Supriya right in front of Rohan. Furious, Rohan fights him off. Supriya feels safe with Rohan, believing he will always protect her. But Amit doesn't forget. While Rohan is away, Amit returns with a bearded thug and forces his way into Rohan's home, assaulting Supriya. When Rohan comes back, he immediately calls the police. Officers arrive and tell him the medical report is crucial evidence, but Amit has already bribed them. Instead of taking Supriya to the hospital, they drag both of them to an abandoned warehouse and later dump them near the sea. Rohan eventually gets Supriya to the hospital, but the doctor says the window for collecting evidence has passed. There's nothing left to prove what happened, and the police refuse to open a case. Heartbroken and devastated, Supriya confesses she can't move forward from this pain. After returning home, Rohan sat silently on the sofa. He refused to eat the meal Supriya prepared. Supriya thought Rohan disliked her unclean body. Heartbroken, she took the initiative to file for divorce. Rohan was still grieving. The next day, when he came home from work, he was ready to apologize to his wife. He didn't dislike Supriya at all, he only felt useless, unable to protect her. When he sat on the bed, something behind him brushed against his shoulder. Rohan reached out and touched a leg. Panic shot through him. He felt his wife's cold body. At the funeral, an official named Zafar approached Rohan. He revealed that Amit's brother was one of the culprits who raped Supriya. Zafar warned Rohan not to speak to the media or he'd face consequences, boasting that the entire police station was filled with his people. As Zafar turned to leave, he casually said, "Thank you." That phrase suddenly grabbed Rohan's attention. He rushed home to search for clues and found Supriya's suicide note under the bed, describing everything that had happened. Every word shattered him. Amit and his friends had raped her again, bragging they would come often. That was what drove her to take her life. After learning the truth, Rohan went to the police station in agony. If the police refused to investigate, he would take revenge his own way. He would kill everyone who insulted his wife. Rohan had an incredibly sharp sense of hearing, and he could imitate any voice after hearing it once. That became his weapon. To make Supriya's attackers pay, he first secretly recorded the voices of Amit and Wasim, then also recorded Zafar's voice, practicing until he could perfectly copy each one. Imitating Zafar's voice, Rohan called the police and ordered them to arrest Wasim. The police obeyed immediately. Then Rohan pretended to be Amit and made a phone call to provoke Wasim. When Wasim's father, Shakil, heard about it, he slapped Amit. Amit thought Shakil had lost his mind. Rohan continued sowing distrust, using fake voices to trick Amit and Wasim's sister into meeting up, then luring Shakil to the same spot. When Shakil arrived and saw them together, he tried to stab Amit, but instead, Shakil was killed. Amit and Wasim's friendship shattered completely. Rohan's revenge was only beginning. He went to a supermarket, bought iron balls, potato chips, and a rope, then called Wasim to a bar. When Wasim arrived, he realized Rohan was the one orchestrating everything. Rohan shut off the lights. In the darkness, Wasim was struck by flying iron balls with pinpoint accuracy. He used his phone flashlight and saw potato chips scattered everywhere. Rohan was tracking him by the sound of the chips crunching. Wasim carefully stepped around them and found the light switch. With the lights on, Rohan lost his advantage. Wasim hurled bottles at him. Rohan was brutally hit but charged forward using sound alone. He grabbed Wasim and unleashed all his rage. Rohan dragged him to the railing, looped a rope around his neck, and hanged him. Then he left a handkerchief with Amit's name on it. Although the evidence pointed to Amit, Zafar quickly shut the case down. No one expected Rohan's revenge to continue, but his next target was Amit. Rohan lured Amit to a warehouse and hid behind the door. When Amit rushed in, Rohan struck him with a stick, but Amit was wearing a helmet. The blow did nothing and Rohan was beaten badly. Even near death, Rohan picked up an iron rod and stood up again. Amit removed his shoes to move silently, but the creak of the floor gave away his position. When Amit woke up, he was tied in the middle of the warehouse. Amit was shocked by how a blind man could easily locate him. Rohan replied, "Even a dead man could smell the scent of your socks." Rohan used Amit's phone to call Zafar. Hearing Amit's muffled cries, Zafar rushed over. Rohan sealed Amit's mouth, lit a candle at the door, and punctured a gas barrel, letting fuel spread everywhere. When Zafar arrived and kicked frantically at the door, the candle fell and ignited the gasoline. All Zafar could do was watch Amit burn to death. By now, Rohan had avenged his wife. But the sheriff had begun tracking him and learned from neighbors that Rohan was skilled at voice imitation. He checked the phone records of the two dead men. Both calls came from the same booth. If the booth owner identified him, Rohan could be arrested. The sheriff sent officers to monitor Rohan and block him from going out. He went to the phone booth himself, but it was closed for the night. He'd have to wait until morning. Meanwhile, Rohan prepared to kill his final target, Zafar. He asked a friend to distract the police. Using smoke for cover, Rohan contacted Zafar and openly admitted he had killed Amit. Zafar and his bodyguards rushed to an unfinished building. One bodyguard spotted Rohan and chased him. Rohan ran and leaped over a trap. The bodyguard stepped on it and fell straight through. Now only Zafar was left. Using the darkness, Rohan kept shifting positions. When the moment was right, he attacked, grabbed Zafar's hand and dragged him toward the edge. At the last second, Rohan clipped himself to a safety rope and jumped. Zafar fell to his death. The next morning, when the sheriff finally got access to the phone booth, he showed a photo to the booth owner. But the owner was also blind. A blind witness couldn't identify him. There are blind people who see more clearly than most, and people with perfect vision who still turn a blind eye to justice. The movie comes to an end. We should never take advantage of blind people. Their trust, courage, and resilience deserve our respect. Instead of exploiting their vulnerability, we should support them, guide them when needed, and treat them with dignity. Helping someone who cannot see well is not a burden. It's a responsibility that shows our humanity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of the exciting content coming your way. Every new video is made with you in mind, and I'd love to have you here for the journey. See you in the next one.